All right, today we're jumping right into Aerostic, an AI platform that's all about automating how your business uses WhatsApp. We're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how this thing works, from building your very own AI assistant all the way to looking at the real numbers from a campaign.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to hit the dashboard to get that 30,000-foot view. Then, the fun part, we'll actually build our own AI. After that, we'll see how it handles a real conversation, figure out how to send messages to a huge audience, and then, and this is key, we'll dig into the data to see what really works.
All right, first stop, the command center. Think of this as mission control for everything you're doing on WhatsApp. It's that all-in-one spot where you can see everything that matters at a glance.
So the second you log in, boom, you've got this real-time snapshot of how you're doing. And the idea here is super simple, clarity. You shouldn't have to go digging around in menus, right? It's all about getting that immediate pulse check on your whole operation.
And these are the vital signs you're tracking. It's not just about how many messages you've sent. It's about the health of your communication. Things like, how quickly are you responding? What's your response rate? And see, that one, broadcast limits, that's a really important number that we're going to circle back to later because it basically controls how fast you can grow.
Okay, now for the really cool part. Let's get to the heart of this whole thing. We're actually going to build and train the AI assistant, the digital employee that's going to be talking to your customers.
And this right here is the game changer. You're not just grabbing some generic bot off a shelf. Now, you are literally building a digital expert that knows your business inside and out. It's trained on your information.
And the best part? The whole setup process is actually pretty simple. First, you give your agent a name. Then, you've got to give it some brains. You do that by either uploading documents or just telling it to crawl your website for information. Step 3, you give it a job, like e-commerce or customer support. And then, and this is so important, you test it out. You talk to it, see how it responds, and tweak things until it's perfect.
So, our AI is trained and ready to go. Now, it's showtime. Let's put this thing to the test and see how it actually handles a real conversation when a customer messages in on WhatsApp.
This is really the make or break question for any kind of automation, isn't it? Is this conversation going to feel natural and helpful, or is it going to feel like you're talking to a robot and just get frustrating? Let's find out.
Okay, so here's how it begins. Super simple. A customer just sends a quick hi to the business's WhatsApp. What happens next?
And just like that, instantly the AI replies. But look at what it says. It's not that boring, we'll get back to you message. It's a real welcome, and then it asks a helpful question to guide them. It's immediately trying to engage and help the customer, which, that's the whole point, right?
Okay, handling one-on-one chats is amazing, for sure. But what if you want to be proactive? What if you want to reach out to people? Well, now we're going to look at how you scale up from single chats to sending a message to hundreds or even thousands of people all at once.
So this really lays out the two different ways you're communicating here. On one hand, you've got the one-to-one chat. That's reactive. That's your AI assistant working 24/7, answering questions as they come in. On the other hand, you've got the broadcast campaign. That's you being proactive, sending out a message to a big list of people all at the same time.
And sending one of these broadcasts is, again, super straightforward. It's just 4 steps. You name your campaign, pick your contact list, choose a message template, and then you can send it right away or schedule it. But hang on, that third step, choosing a template, is absolutely crucial. You have to use one that's been pre-approved by Meta. And just to be clear, that's not a rule from this platform, that's a core WhatsApp policy to keep spam off the network and make sure it stays a good experience for everyone.
Okay, so you've hit send on your campaign. It's out there. But did it work? How do you actually know? Well, the only way to find out for sure is to look at the data.
All right, so in the example we're looking at, they queued up a campaign to send to 352 people. So 352 messages are ready to go. That's our baseline number.
But this is where the story gets really interesting. When you look at the report, out of those 352 messages, only 70 were even sent successfully. And out of those, only 57 were actually delivered. A whopping 252 of them failed completely. So what on earth happened?
And here's the answer, and this is a huge takeaway for anyone just starting with this stuff. The reason so many failed is because Meta puts really strict daily sending limits on new accounts. They do this on purpose to stop spammers and to, as they put it, maintain ecosystem health. The good news is that limit goes up over time, but you basically have to earn their trust by using the platform the right way.
So there you have it. That's the whole journey, right? We went from that big picture dashboard to building our own AI, We saw it handle a live chat, and then we scaled things up with a broadcast. And the most important part? We ended by digging into those reports that tell you not just what happened, but more importantly, why it happened.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. Automation, when you get down to it, isn't really about saving time. It's about creating time. Time that you can finally spend on the things that are actually going to grow your business. So the real question for you is, what would you do with all that extra time?